Good morning all of you. Today we are going to discuss about types of classification. So the classification are actually orderly ways to present information. So depending upon their objectives, this can be mainly divided into two types: artificial classification and natural classification. Natural or phylogenetic, which include both phonetic and cladistic classification. So first we can discuss about artificial and natural classifications. Among them, artificial classification. In the artificial classifications, we use single or at most only a few characteristics to group plants. So in this type of classification, only a few characters are used for the classification. Here, example is given for the group of plants. So this type of classification is called artificial classification. That's all. The plants in a single group share the same characteristics, but they are not closely related to one another genetically. So in this type of classification, only few characters are mentioned. Popular flora, that is books to identify the plants of certain area. Sometimes they may group plants using color of their flowers or their growth form. So this type of classifications are artificial classifications. And these are not useful in finding the names of their taxa, and also which provide a few clues about the relationship among the taxa and hence are not predictive. So we can't deduce nothing more than exhibiting characters. Only a few characters can be used in artificial classification. Theophrastus, a Greek philosopher, he was one of the first to classify plants based on this classification. And he used habit, that is tree or shrub, as the main character, and he then further subdivided them into cultivated and wild kinds. He was a student of Aristotle and is sometimes called the founder of botany. He was a good botanist and he distinguished between annual, perennial and biennial life cycles. Thus, the early classification systems were artificial and based primarily on habit or characteristics, which are important to humans. So, this type of classification have both advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are it is easy to use and reproducible, whereas disadvantages are the system lack any predictive value, since they are not concerned about real relationship between the units, because they do not classify the organisms based on genetical relationship. Only a few characters which are seen outward. In the case of the natural classification, next is about natural classification. These natural classifications group together plants with many of the same characteristics and are highly predictive. That is, by enumerating the characteristics of a plant, one can predict the natural group which it belongs. So here in the natural classification, we are taking many characters to classify the organisms. For example, in the case of taxonomic floras, the characters used are many characters are used based on the anatomy, morphology, cytology, ecology, biochemistry, genetics, and distribution. So such type of classification is natural classification. And these classifications were essentially pre-Darwinian, that means before Darwin's hypothesis, etc. The prevailing paradigm of the time was that species were fixed. So the biologists assumed that this phenetic classification system should be a perfect way of organizing and cataloging biological diversity. But after the evolutionary ideas arrived, after the Darwin age, that Darwin's age ശേഷമാണ് both natural and phenetic classifications were largely abandoned for the phylogenetic one. Okay, and that is until phonetics was resurrected by the computer. അപ്പോൾ അതുവരെ എല്ലാവരും ഈ നാച്ചുറൽ ആൻഡ് ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ ക്ലാസിഫിക്കേഷൻ ബേസ്ഡിലായിരുന്നു ക്ലാസിഫൈ ചെയ്തിരുന്നത്. സോ ആഫ്റ്റർ ദ ഡാർവിൻസ് hypothesis, etc., another mode of classification called phylogenetic classification came into existence. So phylogenetic classification, and these are they are also known as phyletic or evolutionary or phylogenetic characters. And phylogenetic classification, here evolutionary characters or phylogenetic characters are used. And this term phylogenetic, which means evolutionary, this can be used in many ways. And in this case, in this type of classification, main characters were distinction is in between homologous and analogous. Homologous means the same organ in different animals under every variety of form and function. Analog means a part or organ in one animal which has same function as another part or organ. So it is available in different animal as another part but having same function. These are called analog. So this type of classification is based on the distinction between homologous versus analogous. So after the Darwin's theory of evolution, the homologous organs were viewed as structural modification of same organ which can be inherited from a common ancestor. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് ഒരു കോമൺ ആൻസിസ്റ്ററിന് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്താന്നുള്ള ഒരു ഐഡിയ വന്നു ആഫ്റ്റർ ഡാർവിൻസ് തിയറി. Analogues are those features developed by different organs to same selection pressure. അപ്പോൾ അനലോഗ്സിന് അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞത് ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ഓർഗൻസ് ആണ് ബട്ട് ഹാവിങ് സെയിം ഫങ്ഷൻ. ഇറ്റ് ഹാസ് ബീൻ ഡെവലപ്ഡ് ടു സെയിം സെലക്ഷൻ പ്രഷർ. So the phylogenetic classification attempt to reflect the genealogy or evolutionary history of a particular group of organisms. Here we are mentioning plants. Example. Now the characters which are involved in phylogenetic classification. Mainly the cladistic characters are involved. These have been developed attempting to determine branching sequence of evolution. അപ്പോൾ മെയിൻലി ഫൈലോജനറ്റിക് ക്ലാസിഫിക്കേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഇവല്യൂഷണറി ഹിസ്റ്ററി ഡിറ്റക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്, കോമൺ ആൻസെസ്റ്റർ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ. സോ ഫോർ ദാറ്റ് branching sequence of evolution are used and a base, and this type of classification is called cladistic classification. So the basis of this cladistic analysis is mainly data on the characters or traits of the organisms which we are interested. The characters could be either anatomical or physiological characters or behavior or genetic sequences. So among these characters, only derived characters traits are regarded as significant cladistically. So this type of characters are those which are involved in phylogenetic classification. Now, apart from the different features, there are some problems with phylogenetic classification. That means convergent evolution. That means species with similar selection pressure look alike. That is appear alike, hence can trick a taxonomist. So the organisms coming under same species may look alike. Then lack of fossils. Fossilization is a sporadic process. Some events happen so quickly so that fossils cannot be adequately document the changes. So it does not document the correct changes. Sometimes the events could happen quickly. അപ്പോൾ ഫോസിൽസിൻ്റെ നമുക്ക് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് കണ്ടെടുക്കാൻ സാധിച്ചെന്ന് വരില്ല. So the angiosperms appeared very rapidly in fossil records. Another problems are strict evolutionary classification. It assumes a monophyletic origin of groups, that is, ancestors can only came from one group. They cannot be polyphyletic. Example, the members of your immediate family is grandparents, parents, siblings, which make up a group with a single origin. Neighbors are not included in this group since they have different origin. So in this type of classification, it assumes single origin, that is monophyletic origin of groups. Another important problem is logical conclusion. All the angiosperms arose from a single common ancestor. And according to this phylogenetic classification, they are mentioning that all the angiosperms arose from the single common ancestor. So regarding those, there was another type of classification was developed, that is called phenetic classification. So that we will discuss in the next session. Thank you.